Okay guys, so I thought I'd run you through a few little examples by way of an introduction to this section on expansion of brackets. Here's all the different, these represent all the different types of expansion of brackets that you'll come across. By and large, there'll be a few variations on the same theme, but this is generally it. So I thought I'd run you through the little rules for these. Let's take the first one then. To expand this bracket, what you do in practice is you draw two lines. Now it doesn't take a moment to do, and that's line 1, line 2, and that tells you how to expand it. So let's have a go at that one then. So the first line tells you A times bracket B plus C is simply A times B, which we can write as AB, and then the second line tells us it's the product of A and C plus AC, because it was a plus here and there's a plus implicit in this A, isn't there? So there's the answer for that one. Next one then. This one here, a pair of brackets. What you generally do here is instead of drawing two lines with one term outside, two terms inside, you've got basically the repeat of that same process here, but for two terms. So as far as this term is concerned, you draw the two lines as we did before. And also there's this term outside the other bracket, so we do the same for that term as well. So you end up not with two lines, but with four lines. And we generally label them 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first line then tells us that it's the product of A times C, so let's write that down. The second line tells us AD plus AD, isn't it? Looking at the signs there. And then plus BC is the third line. And then the fourth line gives us the product BD, so it's plus BD. And then we just generally tidy up if there's common terms here to collect together. So let's take a literal example then of that, and we'll do that. These lines are quite helpful in a way because they enable you to just quickly, within a moment, draw those lines. Of course, doesn't take any time to do it, but it minimizes the likelihood of making a mistake. So let's have a go here in practice then. So you've got 2a times 3a, that's the first line. So 2 times 3 is 6, and a times a is a squared, so we get 6a squared. Next one. We've got a plus times a minus, so that'll be a minus. Then we've got 2 times 2 is 4, and we've got an a and a b, haven't we? So that's minus 4ab altogether. Third line, 3 times 3 is 9. We've got b times a, and we can write that down straight away as ab, can't we? So we've got plus 9ab. And then the last line, the fourth line, plus times a minus is a minus. 3 times 2 is 6, and we've got b times b, so it's minus 6b squared. Now you'll notice this line can be tidied up, because we've got 6a squared here, and in the middle we've got minus 4ab's plus 9ab's. So that's 9 lots of AB, take away 4 lots of AB, just leaves 5 lots of AB, doesn't it? And then we've got minus 6b squared at the end. So you expand the bracket and then you generally tidy it up and simplify it. Let's have a look at this last one then. We repeat the same process then here. So instead of two lines, we follow the same procedure. So we just draw a line for each term inside the bracket from outside. So we'll end up with 3 terms in the product. Here on the previous expansion we had 4 terms. So it's very easy to see that we must check that we've got the correct number of terms that we've written down so we haven't missed any. So here the first line, 2a times a is 2a squared. The next line is a times 3b, which we can write as 3 lots of ab with a plus. And then the last line, we've got a times a minus, so that's a plus implicit here, times a minus is a minus. And then we've got a times 4d, 4ad, isn't it, we can write, if I can write it correctly. 4ad, there we go. And it's easier on the eye to write it as 4ad rather than 4da. Because generally speaking, I just put a little comment up here. If you had, say, 9ba, you could write that as b times 9 times a. There's nothing wrong with that. But generally, to be easier on the eye is how we like to write things. So customarily, we would write this as 9 lots of AB. That's generally the easiest on the eye, as far as the appearance of a term is concerned. But they're all correct. They all mean exactly the same thing. This times that, the 9 times A times B. Okay then guys, that was just a little introduction into this section. All the best with it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!